Okay, good afternoon. I hope you are having a great day and the lunch was great. So post-lunch sessions are always slightly difficult, but we'll try to make it most interesting because we have a very good panel with us. So this is about road to decarbonization. And I paused because I see that the time is reduced from 40 minutes to 30 minutes. Okay, let's see how we cover. We have 30 minutes to actually cover how we change the world. And we're literally standing on a crossroad between development, ourselves, and the much needed energy transition that we're talking about. And the elephant in the room is to how to keep both of these moving together. We have, as I said, brilliant brains who've been working, including Mr. Rathi, who we should not be forgetting because he's right here with us, on sustainability, on power management, manufacturing, infrastructure. We have brains here who have influenced policies, who are also into policy making in terms of capacity building and skilling. So we'll just see how we move forward. And we'll also try to make some time for your questions, if at all possible. So let's dive in. Of course, we had a quick round of introduction, but just to start with, let's just have 30 seconds to introduce yourselves, and not the company, yourselves. Why are you here, and why is decarbonization close to your heart? I don't want a detailed introduction, but maybe 30 seconds, one line would be enough. Maybe we can start with you, Mr. Singhal.
Thank you. Thank you. A very good afternoon to all, and thanks to the business world for giving me an opportunity to be here. I'm Sanjeev Singhal, Central Council member of the Institute of Chartered Accountant of India, the policy making body for the Chartered Accountant, and also the chairman of the UNCTAD, that is the United Nations Conference for Trade and Development of the 39th and 40th session. Sustainability is at the core of my heart. At the Institute of Chartered Accountant of India, we became the first professional institute to set up a sustainability reporting standard board way back in 2020, when the ISSB was also not there. And ICAI brought the world's first ever sustainability reporting standard along with Security Exchange Board called BRSR, world's first ever assurance standard, and a bouquet of 16 social audit standards. So something to be proud of. So it is pretty close to our heart.
Thank you. Mr. Mullick.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Raj Mullick, professionally a chartered accountant, but I am heading the Sustainability Reporting of India. I have been the Chief Accounts Officer for the group as a whole, but presently I am the Chief Business Officer of the compressed biogas business of Reliance Industry. We are the largest biogas producer in the whole world at this point of time. Sustainability has always been very close to my heart. I have been working with this topic for last few years. Happy to be here.
Hi, I'm Smitha Gopalkrishnan. I represent a company called 3M. I handle sustainability for Asia, strategy and engagement, and ESG reporting for 3M India. I think I'm a communications person. At the end of the day, I write, I like to speak. And I see myself as a storyteller, and one of the important aspects of working for a company that is steeped in science is to make that easily accessible to the world, and the fact that we're able to do this by impacting our communities as well as the planet is an important responsibility. So that's why I'm here. Nice to meet all of you.
Thank you. Myself, Pratap Singh, as you must have heard about it, and I'm basically by education, I'm a civil engineer, and right now I'm working as a business unit director for Rockwool in India and managing the India and SAARC countries. Decarbonization was always close to me because I'm coming from the construction industry, and I can see that various parameters keep changing and we are actually heading towards the decarbonization. That's one of the major buzzwords right now in India and world over. I always believe that challenge and needs always derive, creates some kind of innovation. And that's where we are in. Like, we do have a challenge to achieve that, and there's a need also to achieve that. And that is why different companies and different players are coming up with a new innovative idea to make sure that they should be achieving their targets. So that's my small introduction.
Mr. Rathi, can we please also hear from you?
Yeah, I'm Rathi, Shree Cement, and basically energy is at my heart. I'm looking the energy and power business. Cement gives happiness to the people, and definitely our intention is very clear that without affecting the world with the minimum resources, with the renewable things, basically how we can improve our lives, our company, world level. So that is very, very important for us, and Cement is leading in particularly in this drive.
Thank you. So, let me bring in the lady first. Smitha, I see that 3M has a very strong focus on sustainability and the drives that you do for overall innovation. Can you please enlighten us by saying how is 3M working towards reducing carbon footprint, particularly on manufacturing and supply chains?
Sure. So 3M is a material science company, and it's based in Minnesota, and over 120 years. But our history of sustainability has been since the 70s. And one of the things that many people do learn about 3M is the importance given to employee initiatives. There is something called the 15% rule, which is part of our culture, where employees can pursue projects of passion, and essentially sustainability kind of, before it really became a corporate mandate, came from the grassroots, from employees looking at how do you design out waste, how do you reduce pollution, and all of that. So, having that long history since 2002, we've been, we've created our first greenhouse gas inventory, and since then we've reduced about up to 80% of our scope 1 and 2 emissions. But in the near future, we look at how we need to really look at, it's not just 2050 when we've declared carbon neutrality 100%. Also look at the near term, and that's where science-based targets is something that we've recently got our science-based targets validated for what we're going to achieve by 2030, and we have a scope 3 goal of reducing at least 42%. And we have about 50,000 products, and you can just imagine the kind of endeavor it is to really look at how do we try to understand the emissions that are coming out of across 15 categories. So there are many things that we currently do, from looking at renewable energy transition, specifically from a product standpoint. We have an initiative called the Sustainability Value Commitment, which is essentially, it's called SVC in our parlance, but essentially since 2019, every product that goes through the new product commercialization process needs to have sustainability attributes, and that's actually an important part of the gate process. The other aspect of it is, given the amount of information about our products that our customers need, we've automated our product carbon footprint information through something we call a product impact analyzer, essentially using data science and looking at the entire life cycle of the product. So these are some of the ways in which we are really trying to reduce not only our manufacturing but also our product footprint.
Thank you, Smitha. Mr. Rathi, if I can say that cement production in itself is an energy guzzler. The process itself is one of the highest emitting, carbon dioxide emitting, industry. Can you please, detail out what are the different initiatives that Shree Cement has taken towards energy efficiency and probably reducing the emissions?
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. You rightly said that the cement industry is highly energy intensive and very high CO2 emitter. Is considered second largest industry in India from CO2 emission point of view. and basically almost 8% CO2 emitted is from the cement industry itself. But coming to Shree Cement, we are fully dedicated for it. It is a core of our strategy to go for the sustainability, and we have taken a lot of drives to reduce the carbon footprint. Our Indian average carbon emission from the cement industry is almost 580 grams per ton of cement, per kg of cement, and Shree Cement is able to achieve 520 grams per kg of cement. This is possible due to because a lot of measures we have taken. Bureau of Energy Efficiency given certain targets for achievement of the energy reduction targets basically, and I'm happy to share you that we have not only achieved but we have crossed and we have achieved the best performer award in the PAC cycle 1 and 2 for those measures basically. At Shree, we are almost having 75% capacity from RE power out of 100% capacity which we have installed. We are at present having 650 megawatt of total power. Out of 650 megawatt, almost 520 megawatt is RE power, or the green power basically. We are here trying to make cement is considered as a grey, and we are trying to make it more and more green by these measures basically. Our 55% power consumption comes from the green power, which is one of the highest, not only in India, maybe in the world also. So these are the measures which we have put for the waste heat generating plant we have installed in a big way. Our every kiln is equipped with the waste heat plants. In last 3 to 4 years, we have put solar in a big way. At present, we are already having 220 megawatt. We are having a wind turbines also 64 megawatt. So basically, we are more and more driving towards the solar and wind power for meeting our requirement. But another challenge for the cement is basically 50 to 60% CO2 emission comes from the process. Because the process of cement is like that basically calcination is happening. So clinker generation itself requires. So what measures we are taking that the cement making, how clinker requirement itself can come down. So we are finding the alternative raw materials for making it, and our almost 75% product are PPC, which consumes almost 35% alternative material. So that is the second major task we have taken. Third, we are using the AFR, alternative fuel basically. So that also is helping us to reduce our CO2 emissions because it is almost replacing, and we are getting very good results. We are at the initial stage, but very soon we will cross it. So these are the major aspects for our running plant. For the projects during the design itself, we are ensuring that all latest technology, energy efficient technologies we are taking. Same time, all our kilns are equipped with the waste heat from day one itself. So these all measures ultimately helping us in reducing the carbon footprint, and definitely one day we will be able to make cement 100%.
That's brilliant. We're all looking forward to it, and you are getting a huge round of applause here. So, Vinayji, we know that Rockwool is specialized in insulation solutions that in itself are contributing towards energy efficiency. Yep. How would you see insulation playing a critical role in decarbonization, particularly in industries and buildings?
I look at like this, when we are approaching the internal stakeholders and external stakeholders. I mean, internally we are doing so many other activities, which is making sure that our factories are decarbonized, not emitting the carbon dioxide. The group has given a very good, ambitious guidelines, and we have been asked, to replicate the same framework across the globe. So all the factories are equipped to handle those kind of metrics, and they are working very closely with the group that we should be achieving our target by 2030 and 2050 and 2070. So we have divided into 3 parts. So if you see our factories are basically a carbon net negative already, because our product are saving 100 times of energy when it is being used at the site compared to the production engine energy consumed during the production. So that is what the biggest fundamentals within our organization, that our product is being used in a different application and this is giving a energy efficiency. So what we are trying to do is internally, let's see, we have been using the coal-based furnace earlier. So now we have decided to do all the 47 factories across the globe slowly and gradually convert to electric melter. And that is really going to give a 75% straightforward energy saving in our factory levels. So we did in Europe recently with 3 factories, and now we have taken a pledge that whenever we are next putting out factory, we will be having an electric melter in India also. So now we are, like for example, we are expanding in Chennai now, so we are making sure that as of today we are not we are not getting the consistent electric supplies what actually we need for that particular factory, but still we are looking forward having a renewable energy using as a source for the energy. So that's the kind of steps we are taking. And if you see all our products which are supplied in India are having all aligned with the building sustainable goals like LEED certification, IGBC, Green Pro or LAC or EPD, LCA. Every product has got a life cycle assessment, environmental product descriptions. So people can use and take advantage out of it. So that's the way we are actually helping customers to get the as fast as possible, they can also reach to their decarbonization goal. That's the way we look at it.
Great. Mr. Mullick, we know that Reliance is already committed to a energy shift towards cleaner sources of energy. Can you please describe what are some of the key investments in technology drivers for this shift?
So I think we have already announced $10 million investments, and we are building 5 gigafactories in our Jamnagar, which is already started and in very advanced stage. Number 1, solar. We are already building solar modules, solar panels, and also we are generating solar power, electrodes, manufacture hydrogen, battery, and then high value equipments which is required to transit to things. So apart from that, we are the largest grassroots refinery in this whole world, and we are one of the largest manufacturer of petroleum products, petrochemicals products. So if you go to our complexes where we manufacture those, you will find that huge amount of effort and stress is given on power conservations and advanced technologies. We every year practically, whenever we find an opportunity, we try to reinvent the technologies and find for good method. Like wherever we have to use tractors, etc., we actually use electric vehicles and electric tractors, which are very rarely used. In fact, we have just ordered one of the startups 100 electric vehicles, which is unheard of. I mean, they never expected that they'll go to 100 electric vehicles. We are going that way. One more thing that we have started in India and which very people know is that compressed biogas production. Whenever Reliance starts, it normally makes it very big, and this is also no exception. Today also we are the largest biogas producer in the whole world. We have 7 plants which is running and kicking, 8 actually, and the capacity around 130 metric tons per day production. So, and that the investment in biogas is also, apart from this 10 billion investment, this biogas investment in addition to that. So that way we are making a huge splash in the technology as far as sustainability is concerned.
Dr. Singhal, we noticed, at least I noticed because I got to see your larger, the bio that you shared. You've played an important role in shaping the business responsibility and sustainability reporting. As a real author to that reporting thing, can you please share your thoughts on how policy interventions need to be brought in or shaped to have a more measurable impact of those reporting criteria?
Thanks. Yeah, indeed, ICAI is one of the signatory to BRSR. So we help shape that BRSR reporting. And it's true that whatever gets measured gets done. And BRSR came before ISSB S1 and S2. And I believe it is far more superior than S1 and S2. It gives the quantifiable measures. And the impact has been, if you look at some of the measures taken by SEBI, even the ESG mutual funds will have to have 65% of the asset under management in those companies which are taking a reasonable assurance of BRSR. So along with the BRSR reporting, we brought the concept of assurance or a reasonable assurance. Now it's assessment also of the BRSR. We help prepare a standard on that. So if it gets measured and if it gets an audit done, we believe that the greenwashing is minimized, and that's very, very essential because, otherwise sustainability or green is becoming a fashionable word and mostly confined to only the letter and not the spirit. But this reporting and assurance has brought method to the madness, and as ICAI, I'm proud to say that we played a very pivotal role. And we have demonstrated when we did the World Congress of Accountant in 2022 in this very city, Mumbai, at our friends Geo World Center. In 118 years, that was the first instance of a carbon neutral World Congress. Over 8,000 tons of the carbon was offset. So because we measured it, we could do it. So measurement has a very important role to play. And we are chartered accountants along with Raj.
So great. Smitha, back to you. There's a lot that companies can do together. Can you please share your thoughts on how companies can collaborate across industries, across sectors to create a more meaningful impact or a sustainable energy ecosystem?
Yes. We, being a material science company, our strength is in materials and understanding how materials can, work in different kinds of applications and applications across industries. So the applications could be, how do you make things more efficient, performance-wise? How do you make certain processes safer? How do you reduce the weight of certain things? So essentially looking at how, the science behind, and ensuring that these solutions work better. So one of the ways in which, and because we are across multiple industries, 3M is well positioned to work across the value chain. So in this case, the energy value chain, we have solutions that go into the energy production, the generation of energy, energy transmission and distribution, and energy consumption. So under energy generation, we have products that go into hydrogen energy production and storage. We also have solutions that also aid with carbon capture to mitigate. Under our electrical solutions really help with grid stability and grid transition. Consumption, from a consumption standpoint, a lot of our film technologies are available for the built environment facilities, energy saving, a lot of those solutions. So, but again, we work closely with our customers. So some of these solutions have come up only through collaborations, because we're able to bring in our expertise and work with other partners to do that. So, and that's a lot, and that is how a lot of our solutions kind of come through. When we say we're a science company, if we look at, all of us are very familiar with the periodic table that visually shows different technology. So we have our own version of the periodic table, which has 49 such technology platforms, and what they pretty much do is, that's the depth, and that's the cross-pollination that happens that leads to a lot of these solutions. So over the years, we've had added capabilities around climate technology, circular materials, sustainable design, to really see how we can work with customers to come up with more solutions. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. I'm just wary of the time now. We have 7 minutes and 4 more questions to go. Mr. Rathi, you have detailed out a very, how should I say, a brilliant roadmap, a decarbonization roadmap that you have. can you maybe in next 1.5 minutes, just point out what are the key barriers to achieving that roadmap that you've set for yourself?
From carbon decarbonization, there are 3-4 factors from the cement sector point of view. One is the process emissions. Another is basically the fuel which we are consuming, how to replace that fuels. And third is the power. Fourth is basically the logistic. From the logistic, basically, definitely the all logistic or transportation we can convert to the EV. Major area is basically the battery cost and recharging frequency. That is affecting it. We are running some of the trucks from last more than 2 years basically on the road, and the results are very. Only this has to be commercially must be viable. That's one point. Second point is we are struggling with the waste material of the municipality. We call it RDF and all those things. In India, a lot of quality variations are there. So we started it in a big way. Major processing plant is also there. But consistency in the RDF quality will definitely help, or sorting out definitely will be the second part. Third is regarding the renewable energy. In the renewable energy, we all know that it is either seasonal or periodic. So to have, because cement industry is around the clock power requirement. For round the clock power requirement, certain storage is required. So one is the battery storage, another is the pump storage. Pump storage takes a lot of time and a lot of money. Battery storage looks to be a viable. Still, we are looking that the rates or prices comes down to the battery. Then I think combination of the solar wind with battery will definitely help in converting all power requirement of the cement to the RE. So these are the major things basically. One point I want to highlight is the policies. In the different states, different policies are there. So that is also a major barrier. Like I will tell you, in the Karnataka, our plant is running 98% on the RE power. But in other states, many states, we are not able even to cross 30-35%. So that policies, similar policies and supporting policies will definitely help in getting the target. So these all are the barriers and the successes.
That's very interesting. Similar question for you, Vinay. You detailed out what 3M, what Rockwool is doing, but in terms of getting a more sustainable insulation materials in India, what do you think are the key barriers, and how can those be overcome?
I think that is was indicating the right reason behind it. We could also feel that the policy makers and the policy and standards which we have, like for the construction in India, we do have a national building code, and then for the industries we do have other set of BIS standards. So we have seen those standards not being changed for last many years. So I'm also part of one of the committee member in the BIS CSD 27, which talks about the insulation. So we have been struggling for last 7-8 years, and submitted many times to white paper, and we also invited them to see our factory, see some customer experience center, see this different type of application, so that they started looking at it. But the good part is the government is now willing to understand the philosophy behind it, and they are willing to change the policies. So I think we can see in last 3-4 years, a lot of policies have been changed. The standard has been changed, especially in the CS 27 committee, where insulation, we talk about insulation. They have changed a lot of parameters in insulation. But the other struggle we are getting is that is not created. The people are not getting aware about these things. So that's awareness is also very, very key factors in when they are actually, a lot of things has been changed, but still the direct customer and the influencer doesn't have any idea about it. So we are also organizing some kind of workshop, like today you have picked up these points, this fantastic points, you have guys have taken it up. But that likewise, we need to do many seminars. We need to go and explain to the architects, influencers, those who are influencing the industry. And like Mr. Rathi was talking about, Mr. Rathi, we are supplying to a lot of material to Mr. Rathi, and they are getting a lot of benefit in terms of energy efficiency. Reliance is one of the biggest customers for us, and they're actually getting a lot of advantage from our product using our applications. So these are the things which is actually creating a lot of blockers. I can say I can continue going on, but these are the basic ones: policy and the awareness. And then you come to the customer behavior and the societal changes and so many things. So everything needs to go in parallelly. Then only we can achieve those targets. So I can't see that paradigm shift is happening, but yes, slowly and gradually we are getting there. We at least people are talking about it nowadays. People are taking interest into it and going and participating in awareness programs and going and back to the company, talking to their sustainability managers, the CEOs and MDs, saying that this is possible. Can we do this? Can we allot some kind of a budget to do it? So all the things needs to go parallel. Yeah.
Great. Mr. Mullick, I have a follow-up question for you. You highlighted bioenergy. And so can you please detail out what are the different initiatives that you're taking on bioenergy, and how can biomass or bioenergy as a whole can contribute to decarbonization vis-a-vis the initiatives that Reliance has been taking up?
Actually, bioenergy or biogas, compressed biogas has the potential of changing the entire scenery of India. Today, one of the biggest problems that you see in Delhi and Haryana is that burning of stubbles, right? So bioenergy actually uses those stubbles, and from that we generate gas, biogas, that is actually replacing CNG, which we are importing. So basically you're using a waste that creates emission, and you're using a value-added gas which will actually a biogas. Secondly, the offshoot of this, the byproduct of this is a huge amount of manure that we are generating, which is fermented organic manure, 100% organic. Today, our farmer friends are putting urea and DAP, etc., which is either nitrogen or phosphorus or phosphate rich, which is chemicals, and it is a health hazard for us. This manure that we are creating is actually rejuvenates the soil. It is carbon rich and it rejuvenates the soil. So, and in this process, we emit some amount of carbon dioxide, which is biogenic carbon dioxide. And we also have planned to capture those carbon dioxide and convert into value-added product. So it's a win-win in all spheres. I mean, it's something like that. The other thing that we do is create biomass. Nothing but you capture biomass is a process of capturing agriculture waste, and then through some very simple process, you make biomass which actually replaceable coal. The gross calorific value of biomass is typically 3,500, as against average ordinary coal that you find in 4,000. So it is almost equivalent to coal and is green. In fact, the RPO obligation, which has mandated power plants to use 5% or 10% of biomass, and most probably go to industries also very soon, which is not very clear. So I think this movement of producing or having an industry of compressed biogas is great for India and of the whole world. And in fact, the entire whole world is looking at it. It has the potential of changing the entire scenario which we have today.
Thank you. Dr. Singhal, taking from what Vinay was alluding to in terms of capacities, you're the chair for UNCTAD, but we are aware of, what are your contributions in India. You also would be, very interesting for us to understand what are the global initiatives that you're taking on sustainability and on the capacity building awareness aspects that you would want to.
Sure. So one capacity building initiative has been at the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, where we have now a specific course on BRSR. So we have trained over 3,000 chartered accountants in that. And on a global level, under the UNCTAD, during my chairmanship, we have come out with the global, the general core indicator on sustainability. These are the 33 core indicators, linking each core indicator to an IFRS. So very simplified version of S1, S2, no complexities which any country can adopt. So under the UNCTAD, there are more than 100 countries which are members, and UNCTAD focuses on capacity building also. So apart from reporting, it focuses on capacity building in the least developed countries. For example, it trains in Africa, Asia, etc., the underdeveloped countries. So this GCI have played a very important role, and since these are UN initiatives, so obviously these are transparent and these are accepted all over the world. And I said these are pretty simple to understand. So those initiatives are underway from last 3-4 years and are continuing.
Thank you so much. I can see the time's up, but maybe one question from the audience, if there is any.
My name is Anant, and I'm a startup along this energy, emissions, water, ESG axis. So my question is for Mr. Mullick, am I correct? Reliance. And the panel, obviously. There's a lot of potential, and it's happening also for perversion, in the biomass direction. And since we are in Maharashtra, I can speak about Maharashtra better. The sugarcane industry, right? It occupies 4% of the land of the state, drinks up 96% of the water for irrigation allotted already, or used to 9 years ago. And now you're having biomass, so there's more further incentives to, I won't say abuse, but because it's making profits for somebody or the other, but go in that direction more, where more biomass is being purchased by, for example, Reliance, I do not know. So let us grow more sugarcane. That is in addition to all the water greed. Any comments?
Yeah, no, our strategy is different. Actually, we are not in any way in between food. We don't want food versus fuel. We are not in that fight. We were not in that fight. We only want to use the residue. So when you grow paddy, when you grow sugarcane, mustard, cotton, or and then whatever is left over, we want only that. So after you cut your crops, our machinery will go to your field. We will take what is the residue left, and that is our input. So we don't want sugarcane or paddy to be recycled into fuel. That is not our criteria. Number one. In general, that should not be the case. I mean, the world is taking cognizance of that. That will not happen, in my opinion. But what we use is, after the sugarcane is cut, there is something called lens mud with the waste of that. That is a very valued input for us. We take that input, but not the sugarcane.
So great. If I can just summarize in one sentence, what I learned from this panel personally is the brilliant initiatives that are being taken up from the industry, and then putting those not only on paper in terms of reporting criteria, but also walking the talk here in terms of how do you make it more impactful, and literally showing how this can be done. This is something that I could sense, but I'm sure there are more opportunities to bilaterally also discuss with the panelists.